I predict it probably won't take long. But before we do that, I do want to run my, I want to tell you guys about this C60 Evo. Now, this is a new sponsor for this channel. They reached out to me several months ago, and I was a little reluctant to take that product on because I don't usually, take stuff like that. But actually, I'm kind of surprised, and I want to tell you guys about it. But first here, let me just really quick before I get into that. Oh my gosh. Health system changes and an overload of questionable information, we need to make sure we take care of our mind and bodies. Because of this, I recommend C60 Evo. C60 Evo has been a part of my daily routine for a while now, and I gotta tell you, I love the increased energy and the increased mental focus, which you may have noticed in my videos. And best of all, just like thousands of other customers, I've noticed some very positive changes in my sleep. Here's why you should at least try C60 Evo's olive oil product. It's manufactured right here in America. It's based on Nobel Prize winning chemistry, and it's supported by peer-reviewed published research, including a longevity experiment where the test subjects received the C60 Evo formula lived 90% longer than the control group. It's one of the only products on the market that you take in the morning to help support boosted energy and mental focus during the day, then positive sleep that night. With only 1 teaspoon of the C60 Evo product, I now wake up refreshed and confident that I'm taking care of my mind and body. So go to my link in the description or pinned comment and take advantage of a 20% savings by going on subscription. You can cancel at any time. And make sure to use the promo code Dronetek to get an additional 10% off. All right, so I just want to tell you guys about this really quick now. I know it's like, Dronetek, what are you doing? You trying to like put, these vitamins and supplements on us? It's not something that I personally would have done, not long ago, but these people reached out to me. They sent me a sample and several samples, and I've been taking it for the last couple months. I got to tell you, I don't know. I looked into it. There are peer-reviewed studies that show that this does have very positive effects, not just on like your sleep, but your mental focus, and just how you feel in general. And I have to say, as crazy as it is, I never thought I'd be supporting, a product like this, but it works. I don't know if you guys have, been watching my videos daily or not, but my takes are longer. I'm able to keep talking and keep that train of thought going throughout the entire video with much fewer jump cuts. I've been able to do these live streams a lot better. That's one of the things that's kind of kept me from doing these, is that it's been hard for me to keep up a train of thought. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I'm unhealthy or I'm getting older. I do turn 43 here pretty soon. But I've been taking this daily for the last couple months now, and somehow my mental focus is better than it's ever been, and I've been outside of the flu or whatever I had there for like a week. I've been feeling great. So I want you guys to check this out. The link is in the description or pinned comment. The sponsor is great. They support this channel and lots of other channels like this one. So make sure to go check that out. The link is in the description or pinned comment. And if you use the promo code Dronetek, you will get 20% off. So check that out. I appreciate you guys just listening to me there for a little bit. But let's get into Russia and Ukraine now. I got lots of stuff here to report until our man shows up here. The most popular president ever to live. So basically what has happened here, we are now in a war with Russia. I mean, not officially in a shooting war yet, but it seems like it's only a matter of time. And anybody could have predicted this because we look extremely weak. Both times that Biden has been in the White House in the last 20 years, Russia has advanced. In 2008, they took, right when Obama took over, they went into Georgia. 2014, they moved into Crimea and began taking all those territories. And now they're going to just go in and take the rest of Ukraine while Biden is in the White House again. And of course, if you turn on the media, if you get on Twitter, most of what you're going to see is these people blaming who? Who are they going to be blaming? Woo! Sorry, guys. Who are they going to be blaming? They're going to be blaming Fox News and Donald Trump. I swear, if you get on Twitter right now, half of what you see from the leftist media, the Democrat media, Democrats, is turning Tucker Carlson and Fox News into the bad guy and Donald Trump, because Donald Trump did an interview yesterday where he said that Vladimir Putin was savvy. Oh my God. I mean, personally, I wouldn't be out there complimenting Putin. I get what he was doing. Okay. I get he's saying that, oh, Biden is so worthless and Democrats are so worthless that Putin is savvy, looking very savvy here, dealing with not just the United States, but the entire NATO alliance. I mean, what are we really doing? You got the media out there touting that, oh, Joe Biden, he's bringing everybody together. He's bringing all these countries together. The adults are back in the White House. Thank God. But the problem is they're not really united. I mean, what's our united response to this been? Their response so far has been sanctions. And clearly, I mean, I'm not a foreign policy expert here, but Putin clearly doesn't care about the sanctions. He's been dealing with these sanctions. Hey, what's up, Riddle? What's up, buddy? Riddle in the house. He is a donator to the Discord server, so I appreciate that, which you all should head over to and join us in holy matrimony. No, but if you come in and you join the call waiting room, I can bring you guys in to the discussion. But what I'm saying basically, and you know, this is not a unique take by any means, but you know, these sanctions are worthless. They're not going to stop him. All we're doing right now, guys, let me make a prediction. I made this prediction already when we bumbled out of Afghanistan. We just look horribly weak, and every time we do this, we pay a price for it. And you can go back. I mean, you can go back as far as you want. I mean, it happens over and over again. But in my lifetimes, you got Somalia. We went to Somalia. We ran with our tails tucked between our legs, and what happened? We basically told the Islamic world we're weaklings. They came after us, multiple attacks leading us up to the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, which, what happened there? We precipitously pulled out of Iraq when Obama was president. What happened? ISIS built up, swept across the Middle East with our equipment. We paid a price for that we're still paying. That's not over yet. Don't pretend that that's over. Then we leave Afghanistan. We look weak again. Russia now knows that, hey, we can go in there. We can probably do whatever we want. All they're going to do is slap us with sanctions that aren't even going to, they're going to affect us way more than them. I mean, it will affect them, but they obviously have set up something to be able to deal with it, probably a deal with China. And in the meantime, you got the EU, you got the United States, more concerned with, you know, diversity training and, you know, getting trans people in positions of power and, furries and, you know, people like this watching our nukes and getting off of oil. So we're dependent on these energy sources that are not energy efficient. They're not cost efficient. And they've clearly put us at a disadvantage now. Why do you think that Putin is so confident right now? Because he knows that he's going to outlast us when it comes to these stupid sanctions. And all we're going to do in the end is come out looking even weaker. China's licking their chops. I don't know if you guys have seen, they're already making more flights. They've been doing this, but today there's been more incursions into Taiwan airspace by China because they're gonna do it now too. What do they have to worry about? This China-Russia alliance and whoever else they got with them starting to look pretty strong, while NATO is looking more and more decrepit, more weak. And the whole time that this is going on, instead of, you know, the media calling out, some of them are calling out Biden and Psaki, and they're calling out, the complete lack of a plan here. But a lot of them are blaming Trump and Fox News. You got all these people out there saying, I'm trying to find some because I've been retweeting them all day, that, oh, Tucker Carlson is a traitor. You got The View going out and saying Tucker Carlson's a traitor for questioning this war. Like, what happened there? Like, Democrats and the left used to be so anti-war. Now they're like gung-ho pro-war. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to war with Russia because maybe there are reasons to. Because right now, he's just walking all over us in NATO, and that's not going to end well. He's just going to keep taking territory. I guarantee you the countries surround, you know, all the other satellite states are not feeling very good about this. Taiwan's not feeling very good about this. What are we going to do about it? We're not going to do a damn thing. And they know, China and Russia know exactly how they can take advantage. Like, we think we're getting them with these sanctions. It's a joke. If Foxy's in there. Foxy, I see you in there. Give me a minute. I'm going to read chat here just real quick. I don't see chat. I'm going to have to... Oh, there we go. What do you guys think about this stuff? We're still waiting on Biden, by the way. He's supposed to go on at 12:30, but you guys know how that goes. Putin ain't worried about selling gas. He's burning that shit in Ukraine right now. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so here we go. AYJP, I don't know, because Trump was sucking him off and praising him. That's just, what? I mean, Trump may have been stroking his ego as a method of controlling him. I mean, on one hand, Trump seems like a lunatic, and on the other, he's stroking his ego. So Putin's like, I'm not going to do anything because I kind of like this guy. And he's also a lunatic, so I don't know. He may actually nuke me if I try to do anything, okay? And what was Trump doing on the side? What was he? He was stroking Putin's ego sometimes, but what else was he doing? He was arming Ukraine with TOW missile systems, which I'm really interested to see how that goes. I do have some videos of Russian armor destroyed, including dead Russian soldiers, which I probably won't show for that reason, but it looks like those TOW missile systems are being employed right now. So Trump did that, and they did not invade during Trump's tenure, but they did during Obama-Biden. And what did Obama-Biden do? Not give them deadly weaponry, gave them blankets and medical supplies. That's it. I think at the very end, like literally as Obama was on his way out, he started a process to start arming Ukrainians. But that was not something he did. He did it on his way out because it wasn't popular with Democrats. So, and also what we have here is we had the Republicans, we had Ted Cruz trying to sanction the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Biden comes in, Democrats, and they block those sanctions. So Russia ends up getting their Nord Stream pipeline, which, and now they're like, Germany's like, oh, well, we're not going to let you complete it now, which is a load of crap because they'll just wait them out. They know that they're going to have to get that pipeline going at some point. Putin knows. I mean, and this is not even obvious stuff. Or, I'm sorry, it is obvious stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's been people from the Biden administration, or I'm sorry, from the Obama administration, and that have come out, basically, and people who were working with Biden early on, who have come out and said that they're scared because these people are so incompetent and they don't know what they're going to do. So I want to show you guys some of this stuff right now that's going on. Let's see here. So we do have, let's see, some talk about Russian helicopter shot down. We can check this out. Waiting on Biden to deliver remarks, by the way. He's late, as always. Thanks for everybody hanging out, chatting. Sounds like a hind. Oh, I see. Oh! Look at that. That's wild. Yeah, those are hinds. Obviously, that's anti-missile chaff that they're dropping there. Damn, man, that guy is right there. Yeah, it's a real war, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. Now, this report comes from Caucus War Report. I'm not sure how legit they are. They got about 58K followers. They've been posting a lot of videos. Yeah, I think they think that it was shot down, but it just looked like mostly flares to me. I didn't see anything shot down. We also have...
We've come out of the center of the Ukraine.
We also have this. So the Russians are at an airport that's right outside Kiev. They supposedly have taken control of it. I think the Ukrainians are still claiming that they actually have control of it. So who knows? I mean, it looks like Russia's in control of it right here, because they are at the, they are at the walls there, the outer perimeter. And that's a lot of soldiers, and they're not too worried about being fired on or anything right here. So it looks like they probably do have control. I have also been seeing posts that they are getting, the Ukrainians are getting ready to retake it, or, making a few counteroffensives. See what else we got here. We also have airstrikes, Russian frogfoots. That's pretty cool. Oh, SU-25s. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else we got here. We do actually have some Russian conscripts, it looks like, captured. 2 Russian soldiers that have been captured, being reported by Caucasus War Report. These guys, it says Russian soldiers. I don't know if these are actual Russian soldiers or the DNR, like the separatists. I'm not an expert enough to know that. That does kind of look like official Russian military. But they do have those armbands, which I think represent, see those right there, the yellow-orange stripe. I'm pretty sure that signifies that these guys are essentially like militia. They are Ukrainians who are fighting for Russia, essentially. But they've been captured. Probably not going to be a good outcome for those guys. Got a Russian cruise missile flying over. Man, can you imagine that? You're outside your front yard and a Russian cruise missile flies over your house. Jeez. Fucking crazy. I am still waiting on Biden to get started. See, we got KevTech1. Thank you, Dronetek, for the live stream. No problem, guys. Hey, wow, 250 people watching. What's up, everybody? If y'all want to ask any questions or come into Discord, I am going to open Discord up to just some chat. If you guys want to join, any anti-Republican left-wingers that want to call Republicans traitors, anything like that, come and talk to me. Let's talk about it. I certainly am not a pro-Putin guy. Drone, your mom said Trump lost. Okay, Joe Pesci, come talk to me, man, in Discord. Be a man. Come on. Hit that like button, too. Absolutely. And again, if you try out the C60 Evo at c60evo.com/Dronetek, use the Dronetek promo code, get 20% off. Do it. You know you want to. Give it a try. What does it hurt if you try it? Come on. So, my big worry here is just the cascade effect that's likely to happen from this, guys. What do you all think? Ukraine is probably gone to Russia, but what signal is this really sending out? This is going to have repercussions on this country. See, people think you just elect whoever and then they go in and they basically all do the same thing. They're just figureheads. No, folks, like, it really matters who you put in there. And we have it so good all the time in this country. You guys don't realize, so many people do not realize the real world that's out there. Bad people chomping at the bits, just waiting for us to let our guards down, for us to start slipping so they can take advantage and take over as rulers of the earth. I mean, it really looks like a G.I. Joe type situation here. Drone, your mom said your real name is Randall, not Drone. Okay. Hey, Deanie, what's up? Having fun with World War III yet? Nope. It's funny, the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night to loud booms from a thunderstorm in the middle of the winter here. Lightning and thunder because it was like 60 degrees out that day for some reason. But I woke up to flash, just a massive flash and boom. And for a split second, I woke up thinking that like it started, you know. I freaked out slightly and it's like, oh wait, no, it's just thunder. Nature Girl, love your work. Hey, thanks. Really appreciate it. Well, Sean, you may be looking at a potential draft, but I'm not. I'm too old. I turned 43, unless they're really desperate. East London, UK here. Appreciate all you do. Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate all of you guys and women, ladies. Red Dawn. Yeah, see, that's what kills me is I grew up in the generation of Red Dawn. Us 80s kids, we grew up to like hate Russia, to be ready to fight Russia. And now the Democrats are in charge and they're trying to make it seem like we're like pro-Russia when they're the ones with all the commies in their party. You know, that's another thing I wanted to talk about is they're giving Trump so much crap for saying, oh, he was Putin sophisticated. All these people that are giving Trump crap, they all think Fidel Castro was amazing. And when Fidel Castro died, they all had positive stuff to say about him, even before he died. So, you know, really, let me see what other news we got here, guys. We got MiG-29s flying over Kiev. Oh, let me show you guys this. That's not a good sign. I mean, there's the airfield that I was just telling you guys about that Russia had taken. That's supposedly smoke rising up from that location. A downed Ukrainian. Oh, man. So I'm just going to kind of read what I'm seeing here. We have more Russian soldiers captured. Some dead Russians as well. I'm not going to show that. K-52 shot down. I believe that's Ukrainian. Ukrainian troops firing on Russian helicopters. Let's check that out. Oh, we already saw this one. Man. Biden is always... What do you guys think about this? I was looking at this earlier, and I'm not really sure what to make of it. Oh, here, hold on. Let me actually put on the tweet it came from. So, what are the odds of all four people having children working for Ukrainian gas companies? It is interesting, isn't it? Things that make you go, hmm. And, you know, they'll call me a traitor for even questioning any of this. Isn't that crazy? But, you know, in the early 2000s after 9/11, anybody that questioned, you know, the war in Iraq or the war in Afghanistan, they were called traitors. You remember Bill Maher got a lot of crap for speaking out against the war early on. And I'll admit I was on the side calling those people traitors and terrorist lovers and all that kind of thing. I was wrong. I was wrong about the Patriot Act. I thought that was not going to be a big deal. I was a dumbass. But now these people have switched, and now they're doing exactly that. They're saying, if you don't agree with this war, or you're calling Biden weak, well, then you're a traitor. Can you believe that? If you call Biden weak, you're a traitor. Unreal. I like to start my day with a workout, coffee, and telling Republicans to fuck off. Can Republicans stop dividing us and act like Americans for 5 minutes? Seriously, we need it. That's what's so funny about what I'm talking about here is that these same people call Trump weak all the time. They said he was a Russian spy. They said that he was insane and should be removed with the 25th Amendment. Now when you say these things about Biden, well, you're an insurrectionist, you're a traitor, all this. It's just, it's unreal, man.
And a little bit of chicken.
It is jarring.
And and a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night.
Oh, you guys can't see this. Hold on. You guys can't even see it. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is like a CNN report. Watch how this goes.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night.
That is oh wow. That is something right there. Wow. I think it just says something about the state of our, I mean, that it's like the state of the situation we find ourselves in. We got Ukrainians dying right now, Russia invading, not scared about any repercussions from NATO or the US. They know they can do whatever they want. And as a live camera pans around Kiev with air sirens going off, we get a commercial with a dude dancing in a cowboy hat about getting some chicken wings. Yeah. Very dystopian. Oh, I can't watch that again. Oh man, here we go. So these are the ladies who were just calling Republicans and Trump traitors for questioning the war and calling Biden weak.
Well, I'm scared of what's going to happen in Western Europe too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic. And now this, it's like, who's...
Oh my God. Yes, you heard that correctly, folks. You're a traitor if you question anything about this war or think that Biden's a bumbling fool of an idiot. You're a traitor. But, your moral superior over here, Joy Behar, is just worried about not being able to go on vacation in Italy. Ugh. Yeah, kids are getting bombed by Russian bombs right now. Civilians are getting literally mangled and destroyed in the road as they ride their bike. I'm not going to show you that one either, but it's out there on Twitter if you want to go find it. Yeah, but Joy Behar, it's so horrible because she can't go on vacation. Man. Poor Joy. She really has it rough, guys. I really feel bad for her. Well, Biden is currently about 20 minutes late, I think. Let me make sure here. Yep. Still not back. Oh, wait. Well, it says 29 minutes, so they must have... So we still got 30 minutes before he comes on. Great. You guys are going to sit here and talk to me until he comes on. Let's read some comments here. PM Beham. Breaking. Military contractors foresee strong quarterly earnings. Yeah, likely. Very likely. If we go to war with Russia, I hope Biden sends those new flower-powered troops of his in first. Just saying. Yeah, like, we joke about that stuff, but it's having real-world consequences. Like, oh, goody gumdrops. We have, like... We're investing in wind and solar. Yeah, we don't have natural gas of our own because we stopped our pipelines and stopped fracking and drilling. We don't have any of our own that, oh yeah, that's right, we're reliant on Russia. Oh, so here's how we'll get Russia. We'll just not buy any from them. We'll freeze the market so they can't sell any oil to us. That'll really get them. Like, what? Those are the people? Those are the people in charge? Does that give you guys confidence? It's insane. It's just totally insane. Like, they think they're going to outlast Putin on that. Like, you got Americans who are already going through 8% Biden inflation. Thanks, Biden. Let's go, Brandon. We got 8% inflation, which is, what, the highest in 50 years or something like that? And then on top of that, we're going to get $6, $7, $8 gallon gas because we're really sticking it to Russia. It's not Russia sticking it to us, no. Let me tell you something, folks. If Russia had any worry Putin was worried at all. Well, I don't think he's worried about his people suffering. He's not going to suffer, so I don't, and the oligarchs aren't going to suffer. But you really think he's worried about it? No, he's not. He would not be doing this if he was worried about it. Or he just knows, like, he knows it might hurt him a little bit at first, but he knows it's going to hurt them worse. I'll say this, we are going into the summer, so they'll need less, I guess, natural gas, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna make any difference. I think Biden's gonna do whatever he wants, or Putin. I think Xi's gonna do whatever he wants. I think he's probably gonna take Taiwan, maybe even do it soon. Wouldn't that be a surprise? What the hell? We're dealing with everything we're already dealing with Russia, and then China's like decides to go into Taiwan. We're not gonna know what the hell to do. You think Americans are gonna be, super supportive of war with China and Russia? Probably not. Probably not. Because we focused on the wrong things in this country for way too long. It seems almost like by design to me. I mean, thanks guys for the super chats. Thanks, buddy. Get to the chopper. Well, I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. Yeah. My coffee is cold. I never drink it fast enough. Yeah, let's see what else is going on here, folks. Let me, you have Putin out there just straight up threatening America, saying, and Europe, saying, if you guys do anything, you're going to regret it. And we're all scared bunch of pansies not doing anything. It just seems like Putin's got us by the balls. This third-rate country with no economy, outside of, their oil and weapon sales. And what else do they export? What are Russia's top exports? So, according to the Gaggle, the top exports from Russia are crude petroleum, refined petroleum, petroleum gas, coal briquettes, and wheat. So what did we put sanctions on? On the refined petroleum? Or just petroleum gas? Which wouldn't even be their top one. I'm pretty sure that's just the petroleum gas. What about the wheat? I mean, they're going to still be... Something else I wonder about? Like, Greta Thunberg. Is she like a Russian agent or something? All these people seem to be doing... They accuse Trump and they accuse Republicans of being traitors and pro-Russia and pro-Putin, all this stuff. Yet... he only invades when Democrats are in charge, and Democrats block sanctions on his pipeline, like the pipeline that is going to give him an advantage over us. So they let him get it, and then he proceeds to do this, which exposes this massive vulnerability, which should have been obvious to begin with for these people. So it just makes you wonder if they don't want this all to happen. I don't know why they would. What do you guys think? Why would they want that to happen? All right, so I wanted to show you guys this. I was talking about earlier about Twitter and the fact they're blaming, Republicans and Trump for this, even though it's who's in charge right now? Who's been in charge? Who's been in charge for the last year? It's been, year and 3 months. It's been Democrats and Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. Fox News isn't in charge. Republicans aren't in charge, not yet. Oh, but you can guarantee when Republicans get back in after the midterms, they're going to start incurring all the blame. But, so the media has to blame something other than Biden and Democrats because they're so scared about going into the midterms. And of course, it's January 6th. Yes, yes. From Garrett M. Graff. Who is that guy? He's from CNN. One thing worth keeping in mind today, there is a straight line from Russia's attack on the U.S. election in 2016 to today's new invasion of Ukraine. The chaos that Russia unleashed with the election of Trump weakened us to the point Putin feels confident invading Europe. Okay, So let's unpack this real quick. They didn't. Every time Russia has invaded, literally, it's been under a Democrat. They did it twice under Obama, Biden, and then they didn't do it under Trump, and then they did it again once Biden got back in the White House. But this guy, this guy doesn't see that line, that very clear line. He doesn't see that one. He sees this other weird, warped one that doesn't seem to have any relation whatsoever to Russia. I'm not making the connection there. And then he says that it was the election of Trump that weakened us to the point that Putin feels confident in. But if that were the case, wouldn't he have started this under Trump? My head hurts. Trump weakened it, so they're invading under Biden. That makes perfect sense, guys. Right? I mean, maybe I just need some brain damage before that'll make sense. And so obviously he got some crap from other Twitter users, and he doubles down like they always double down. I wrote in 2017 that Russia's election attack was probably the most successful intelligence operation in history. Oh, really? So it was so successful that I guarantee you Garrett M. Graff cannot tell you to what extent they were successful. Like, how many votes did they change? How many people did they influence that were going to vote for Hillary but then decide not to? How many? He has no idea. It could be 0. But he just, making this shit up. It's insane. And today's developments bear out just how much it changed the world and how much space it gave Putin to operate. Okay, like literally the extent of this successful intelligence operation was putting ads for like fake news into Pokemon Go and some on Facebook. And they also organized some rallies both for and against Trump. Some of them were pro-Hillary that Russia organized. And the funny thing about the ones that were anti-Trump, CNN, MSNBC, they all promoted those rallies that were organized by Russia. Yeah, it's true. Look it up. And they were giddy about them. So, if anybody gave Putin room to operate, it was our national news media, actually helping him not only to promote and spread Russian disinformation in the form of the Steele dossier and all that, but then also promoting these rallies, anti-Trump rallies. John Harwood, another CNN hard-hitting Just the Facts newsman, another way of stating Garrett's position. Oh, he's defending Garrett. Okay. The Russian thug now attacking Ukraine helped Donald Trump become president because he thought that would someday make this kind of attack easier to pull off. It'd make it easier to pull off when Trump wasn't in power? What? It was right in the short term. This is why I need break. Guys, I'm taking a vacation at the end, very soon. I don't want to say exactly when, but I really need it. I really need it because this stuff is... Let's see. Here, I wanna see this from Twitchy. Let me real quick check this. 19 minutes, everybody. Come to Discord if you'd like to chat. I'm gonna open that up here very soon. Let's see if we have some people in there. We do. All right. If you are in Discord chat, just wait. I'm gonna be bringing you in just a minute. So we have Garrett, and good. I wanted to see how this actually played out. Okay, so this is completely insane what he's saying here. Bad kitty for Congress, one of my favorites. Biden's been a president for over a year now. Has any of your... guys, I gotta respond. Jeez. All right. Yeah, makes perfect sense. All right. Yeah. It's so funny. Can you help me answer my Trump supporting family members as to why Putin didn't do this while Trump was president? Genuine question. I don't know what to say. Oh. Yeah, I mean, unreal. It's like their brains can't fit around. Like people who are with this guy and agree with this guy can't fit their. I don't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say because it's BS. It's obviously BS. So it's Trump's fault that NATO is ineffective now. Trump was in power for 4 whole years, and he's the reason NATO is ineffective. Okay. These people, I mean, this is what happens when Democrats are in charge. It's like when Obama was president and they said Obama was a scandal-free president. We know that's not true. The media just didn't report on the scandals, or they would always spin scandals as a creation of the right, which is what they do now. Only their scandals against us are legitimate. It's never legitimate when it's them. And look at what happened under his presidency. Russia invaded these countries twice during his administration. They don't call that a scandal? No, because they didn't even make a big issue of it. Oh, yeah, I guess Putin did invade while Bush was still president because Obama didn't take over till 2009. So, yeah, I guess it did happen under a Republican president, and he did nothing. But is it any surprise that they continue to do it when there's no real repercussions outside sanctions, which, you know, he clearly doesn't care about? And Psaki was asked about this. You know, why are you doing sanctions if sanctions don't work? And she said, oh, well, it's long term. They work over a long term period. Right. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Got some anti-war protesters in Moscow. I'd be nervous about doing that. Especially with such a small amount of them. I wonder if those people are going to start getting rounded up. Yeah, sorry guys, no Joe Biden yet. He's just late. Very late. He pushed it back. We got about 15 minutes. It says 1:30 p.m. It was supposed to be at 12:30, I believe. So we'll see if this pops up here in just a minute. Supposedly, Ukraine has shot down 5 Russian planes so far and a helicopter, which is probably that video that we saw earlier. Pee-wee, Russia and China getting friendly lately for some reason. Yeah, for some reason. I wonder why that might be. Yeah, it's a problem, guys. You guys remember Red Dawn? In Red Dawn, what was the alliance? Was it... Oh, no, you know, China was on our side in that movie. Because remember, China got nuked and lost a billion soldiers or something? All right, I'm going to open up Discord chat if you guys would like to join us. Hello, you guys here?
Yeah, I was simply arguing with the carnivore. He thinks that my stance on defending an ally would lead to nuclear war, and then he claims Ukraine is corrupt, and we've just been going back at it, and I've just been calling him an idiot because I'm just telling him he's just jumping to random topics and just trying to find an argument.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been crazy. How was your morning?
Good. I've been dealing with the kids, and then I thought, with all this stuff going on and Biden delivering some words, I thought I'd do a live stream.
All right.
Who's Ray here? Ray Edwards.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your stance on this current conflict?
I can't believe that we're not going to be helping him.
Yeah, well, what would we do, really? I mean, Putin, he holds the energy strings because we've basically hamstringed ourselves, us and Europe, and then he's got nukes. He may even use nukes in Ukraine.
Yeah, he might. I don't think he will, but you know, I could be wrong.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But I think if Europe,
I don't think Ukraine is a force enough to be recognized to go that far.
well, I think if the U.S. got involved in any way, like troops on the ground or the EU, he would probably drop a nuke somewhere in Ukraine,
That's fair. He
a
might.
tactical nuke, because they have them. They have those mini nukes.
Yeah.
Foxy, what were you gonna say? Sorry about that.
Oh, nothing. I mean, it's just me and this carnivore idiot. I mean, you can like read main chat yourself. I'm in a disagreement. I think this will not lead to nuclear war if Russia and China knows what's good for them. It's already a clear sign that we've seen signs of this since Afghan. That he's at work. He's at work.
Okay.
It's been I've been trying to get him to join VC. It's clear signs that we've seen it already that China, Pakistan, Russia has already recognized. But let me turn down the media because I'm listening to like 3 different news sources. They've seen the Taliban as a form of a superpower, rightfully so. As much as I don't want to say that, because of how quickly they've obtained the capital of Kabul within weeks, and their capital exactly within 2-day period of time, which is pretty much on some PMC level nonsense. And I think we can all agree. So, that being said, this was inevitable. I was honestly calling Russia's bluffs because this is something that they've been talking about doing for like over a year and possibly longer. Putin has been saying that he's been trying to do this for 30 years, trying to negotiate them, bringing down their government into pretty much formulate back into a bigger nation that includes Ukraine. Ukraine clearly said no, so they decided to attack. We couldn't do nothing during Hong Kong because we had an election going on around the same time. And Afghan was a result of how bad we looked as a nation and where's our mindset. More worried about propping up people to wear skirts in the military than to actually lift weights, have a stable mental mindset, knowing that they're going to come home beat with no jobs anyway. And now we have another nation that is in trouble, and we're not going to be able to help. Who is an ally? Another one. And the more this goes on, it's going to show that we are weak and that we can't be the big bully defender taking on the bigger bully and beating their ass like we usually do when we're in high school, as an example. So now that's being said, any moment of time, and it's clear. Recent studies have shown that China has removed femininity and the LGBT from their news sources, their media, and their military to match our numbers in the military right now. And we did the polar opposite with the whole Miller situation. And I'm sure you're aware of that, right?
So go ahead. Can you give us a quick summary?
Him thinking that for Miller, I forgot his last name. He was talking about how offended he was that people were bringing up his old topics of being diversifying military bases with CRTs in their training and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
so. That's an example. There's more talks about it. They have diversity classes in base. My friend's in the Coast Guard, and he said that some stuff like that goes on, and he's not okay with it.
Oh yeah, it's going on in the Air Force too. My dad's.
I have a friend in Florida right now that has a similar issue, but he can't say nothing on it. He'll get kicked out.
Right. Yeah. Do you say your dad's in the Air Force?
Yeah.
I used to be in the Air Force. None of this stuff was going on yet when I was there. It's pretty crazy how it just quickly got injected into everything. It's so subversive. It makes me think that agents have infiltrated everywhere. People that we see a lot are actually like double agents.
Yeah.
People in the military, people in government.
It's like I know everybody has their own views and shit, but goddamn.
Right. It's when I was in the Air Force, they told us, I remember distinctly, and they were ramming in our heads constantly through basic and the active military, that our job is to kill people and break things. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, depending on where you're working. My dad fixes all the planes that nobody can fix, but
Okay, cool. Yeah, I did aerospace ground equipment, so I would have supported that.
oh, cool.
Let me see what the time on Biden is here. This should be interesting. Hopefully he starts on time.
He's gonna do nothing but ask for another drone strike on the wedding.
Oh, it's starting shortly. It says it's starting shortly. We'll see.
What does shortly mean?
Right.
When he's done getting off the shitter.
If you guys want to come and jump in chat here with us, anybody that's watching right now, you can come to my Discord. There is a link in the description that you can click, get over here, and then just getting into the chat waiting room, and I will drag you in. Crowder, I thought he tweeted something about the weather. They were having really bad weather, and they had planned on just doing a pay stream on the website. CC777 asking about Crowder. I think that's what happened. I think it was weather related.
Staying quiet right now to see if anybody else has their opinions about what's going on currently outside of me.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to chime in here. I'm just kind of going through Twitter real quick, seeing what's going on. Twitter is like the best place to get news. I hate Twitter, but like, man, you can get some breaking stuff.
I couldn't help myself to be up there. I get my account deleted in a heartbeat. They've attempted it before, and I was able to delete a message, and I reinstated my account. Sadly, they clearly wouldn't tell me what it was, so they tried it. For a time, I'm asking people, can you please clarify? Please define new things. Please define a few things for me. What does help our allies mean right now? And 24th of February 2022. I've already said to this dumbass that clearly it means that we help our allies, that we are in an alignment with, in economic standards and societal norms. That's pretty much it. Which is Ukraine. Even though Ukraine is corrupt as every other country, this guy thinks that, oh, Ukraine's corrupt, and something about going into a nuclear war, which is jumping to the extreme rather than just simply going there to help them out. Russia did not threaten nuclear war yet. They've said that they're going to retaliate any outsiders who's going to get involved. So it is a possibility. I'm not denying it.
I don't think he'd use nukes on America, but I think he would use it within Ukraine. I think he'd use tactical nukes.
He's over there throwing it openly, and he's just being a dumbass. I'm just ignoring him right now because I already answered his question. I said, dude, you brought up two random topics of extremes. And simply as that, this guy's at work, so I'm paying him no mind. It's as simple as that. I already told him, it's like, well, you see Afghanistan, we didn't help them. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So,
guys, I'm going to try and get our chat in this video somehow.
He's taunting you.
One second, guys. Oh my gosh. There we go. Second, guys. I'm trying to get our chat in here. Of course. I wonder if I just put this in there. If that works. If not, I will just, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm being asked the same question. What does helping allies mean in 2022? I think that's the most retarded question, dude. That's so broad. I'm engaging you. Why do you only engage when you have some additional completely baseless bullshit to say? You're not throwing any good arguments, dude.
well, let's.
Oops, I accidentally put that in capitals.
You're out of here.
I know. Oh my god, I yelled. I yelled in text speak.
Yeah, here we'll just do this for a little bit.
Ramon wants back in.
So, chat, what do you guys think? I mean, what do you guys think? How do you think this will end? Well, do you guys think this will escalate? Do you think Putin will just maybe, get in, take a little bit, hang out for a while until things settle down? And he just sort of incrementally does this every couple of years till he's got everything. I mean, because what? Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think he's going to bulldoze it. He's going to take it all.
Yeah.
While he can.
Yeah, now's the time. Same with China. Like, what's to stop them? They know we're not going to do anything. Like,
exactly.
We are a paper tiger now.
It has a stupid conclusion, bro.
Well, Biden is late again. Jesus, man.
Well, yeah. It's like he'll wait half an hour and then this, that, and the other.
I want to hear what nonsense he's got to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys see that? I don't know if you saw that graphic I put up. On February 9th, the DOD was worried about diversity and inclusion training. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. And the moment they started pulling that shit, and they were talking about it months ago, this is around the same time China removed femininity from their social media completely. Should absolutely not be supported. So this guy's he's actually an idiot. So
right. I mean, like I was saying earlier, the purpose of the military is to kill people and break things. That's it. It's to win wars, defend the country, defend our interests. And, we weren't perfect at it for a long time, but we've done fairly well. It's just we're too soft now. Like, nobody's willing to go out and die in a war. Like, do you think they're really going to be able to train kids to go, charging into certain death in a war in Europe?
it's like, and we got people like that. I don't even think they should. He says I have no arguments because I clearly said the civilians are the concern, not the government, to help Ukraine. So he'd rather a whole country gets nuked just because their government is corrupt. The entire world should be destroyed at that point. He's making a dumb argument. It's
people
like
that super chat. Sorry, go ahead.
It's people like that who just I don't see the point in having a conversation with, because this person is just looking for a reason to argue. His argument can easily be debunked by the populace of the citizenship and the residents in the area outweighs that of the government, and I'm sure that their citizens have some kind of democratic dispute with what goes on over there versus what Russia or China has. They're going through an invasion.
Right.
So to clearly say fuck them means that your opinion does not matter here. It's as simple as that. Everybody else
is that what
saying,
he's saying? He's just saying F them, like he doesn't care at all.
Yeah, basically that's what he's saying. We shouldn't help them because their government's corrupt, and fuck us too. So like
Well, here,
but no, he referred to us as non-corrupt.
Well, here's what I'll say is that while I don't necessarily, I mean, I'm not going to go fight and die. I'm too old anyway at this point. I don't want my kids to, but it's like if we don't do anything, this is all going to culminate at some point. I mean, it's going to come to our doorstep. And it's going to
backfire at us because we've been looking weak since the G7 or G20 summits that's been going on for like the past 2 years. Right. And we're going to get. Hold on, there's noise in my background. There was a truck over. Okay, yeah, no, there's going to be a resentment stand. Our allies are most likely going to side with our enemies because, again, we can't trust anybody. But they're allies for a reason. We have common standards. We share the same space, i.e., the G summits and the UN and the EU and NATO. If we do not secure standards of respect and understanding with other countries, as well as helping and defending them from invasions, they're going to turn on us. You were not there for us. We're not there for you.
Right. That's people don't realize how tenuous the world peace is. Like, I get we don't have world peace, but we're not fighting world wars against each other, and people don't realize how easily that could all happen again, and how tenuous this entire thing is. And yeah, doing these things are making our military look weaker, not backing up our allies, letting China and Russia, basically do whatever they want because we're scared of them, or we're scared of what will happen if we do confront them. I mean, that's all culminates in our alliances weakening because they can't trust us. I mean, our allies all know I think at this point they can't trust us. I mean, it's sad. I don't know how you repair that. I think all you do is just get destroyed and lose a major war in that situation.
I mean, basically.
Because look at China and Russia, man. Those countries. I mean, Russia, their military is, it can go destroy Ukraine, but other than that, it's basically rotting and falling apart. But they're tough. They're willing to go at it, and they're teaching their soldiers and their society, like you just said, they're taking the femininity out of everything because they know that war is hard and you need tough people to get through it and win it. And if you have a weak population, they're just going to get run over, and they know that. We're living in La La Land. That can never happen again. Nobody could ever invade America.
Fucking hilarious, bro.
I mean, people, they really don't think that that'll ever happen. Our lives are so mundane all the time,
Do people really believe that?
Yes. I mean, where do you see any sort of real concern about the fact that we are going to have to deal with China and Russia?
It's like we
okay, that's fair.
Like, if this is the mindset we're going in, that they're corrupt, then that means our resources would have been finite at this point by each country. What this carnivore guy is this, we sanctioned them during NATO's UN and G summits. We start throwing them bitches out like they're pencils to the roof of your school, shooting them up on the ceiling because they can stick. Because we can do that when we have simple disagreements.
Yeah,
it's like what people fail to understand is that it doesn't matter. It's corrupt. We're living in that right now. But there's civilian lives that matter, and you cannot have a government if you don't have civilians to reside in your area, to do work, to live, to pretty much be alive. If you don't have that, you are not a government. They have to be there to form the government. They have to be there to support the government. They fund the government. They put you there for a reason. So if we don't help those people, the world is, at this point, if that's the logic we're going by, I give us 300 more years before we actually get eradicated.
Wow,
just for having, yeah, but at any moment, something like this, I'm pretty sure the world is going to pretend to forget, like they did with Afghanistan. Because after August passed, mid-December, people didn't want to talk about it anymore. News didn't want to talk about it anymore. I was watching it even news that cover international political issues did not want to talk about it anymore. They were too busy worried about Greece having wildfires or California having wildfires, and I'm just like, all right, that's fine. And I'm still affected by what happened in Afghanistan because it's kind of retarded that I'm living in a country. Any moment that our worst enemies that we do trade with can say, fuck that, your sanctions don't mean shit. We got the two biggest countries right here. You got Russia and China, and we're just going to steamroll all the rest of you and start actually creating this George Orwellian's 1984 that they've been trying to prop up for hundreds of years already. And it still have not came to fruition yet. They've been trying. I ironically talked to a couple of people who did not know of George Orwellian's 1984. I did not read the book myself. I've heard every sentence by ear to mouth from my teachers when they was reading it to other students as I was reading a different book. I know about Oceania, I know about Ingsoc, I know about everything. So the fact that they clearly disprove of these things and they think that it doesn't exist, it's going to happen. People don't want to defend their allies, they're not going to help. 1984 is clearly going to happen more and more further.
Yep. I mean, we're already living it to. a
Oh
large
yeah,
extent.
I believe it. It's going to come to a point where it's literally just going to be 3 super nations, and I'm putting money on it. It might not happen when I'm alive. That's why I'm saying 300 years, give or take. But
Do you think America will be one?
oh no, I don't think.
I mean, at this point, I don't either. That's why I questioned.
We have a two-party system, literally always letting one side or the other go to the extremes. And I'm a conservative. They let either or go to the extremes. The Republicans claims that the Democrats do this and that, but yet they don't take stuff into their own hands, and they wait until very last
Mhm.
minute until Democrats rule over House and Senate, and they have. And then you have Democrats that will claim that they're not communists, but then have stuff like the IRS get involved and everything. They have communist like actions. They are literally talking about having re-education camps. This was AOC's talking point. She wanted this when she was very popular back in 2017.
I forgot about that.
So things are real hot. They wanted a great reset so that AOC can push this Green New Deal, which is to have some kind of fucking Spirited Away-esque trail rating system on water, which is bad.
Gee, I hope he gets started here soon because my kids are going to start stirring from their nap soon. So I'm going to feel really bad if I get everybody here and then we never even get to watch Joe Biden. That's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, these are all like great points. So I'm just reading. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, but at the same time, it's just like I'm watching Ramon and Carver talk. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I just feel like that guy is just it's just a complete like loony. If you think just because a government's corrupt that we shouldn't help them.
Well, that's why I thought he was trolling us.
Yeah, no, the guy's a fucking moron, man. And he's saying, "Oh yeah, we got that guy. We got space." Like, dude, you're a fucking moron. It's it.
I think people were trying to get into Discord, guys. Just come in and I'll drag you in. Just let me know you want to come in.
Yeah, Ramon and Gamer Dude has been waiting the longest. They've been asking you to pull them in.
I've dragged them over here and they went
Yeah,
back in.
it keeps on kicking him out or something. Discord issues.
I don't know if you
That's
guys.
never heard of. That's not something that happens.
No. I don't know if you guys saw. It looks like Ukraine is arming their civilian population up with
Mm-hmm.
weaponry.
Well, they're trying. They're trying to. The guy that one of the guys that I was watching talk said it's not clear where they're supposed to get their guns or their armaments from, and so it's really hard to even go ahead and arm themselves.
They got a babushka battalion. How about that?
A babushka.
Literally, look
Wow.
at this. Oh man, and I think they're apparently they're being connected to these supposed Nazis that are within the Ukrainian army, which is what Putin was referring to. Not they're making it sound like the whole army is Nazis. I guess there are a couple of these guys. The Azov battalion. Is that how you say that?
How you say what?
It's this Ukrainian battalion called the Azov battalion.
Oh.
They've been around since 2014, I think, at least. But they've got Nazi, like openly Nazi people in it.
Really?
Yeah, they even have patches, like SS patches and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm showing them here right now. But
Yeah,
this
I see
is
'em
one
now.
group, and they're not actually in the military. They're in a like a militia. So they're not actually part of the military. Although
Yeah.
I think they do work with the military. I think they have been. Anyway, Babushka Battalion. That's awesome. Bunch of old Russian ladies or old Ukrainian ladies fighting.
Great. Hey, if you're ever
looks
gonna
great.
have, what was that?
I said that looks great. That looks like they're not desperate or anything.
Oh yeah, that was a sarcasm. That's great.
Yeah. When you have old ladies fighting for you, I'm not sure that's Great
Although
sign.
grandmas can be hardcore.
I guess so. You could find maybe, well, especially Ukrainian grandmas. They gotta be pretty tough.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Do you guys ever watch? I watch a couple travelers, like Bald and Bankrupt. You ever see him?
No.
He goes to. He's on YouTube. Bald and Bankrupt. He goes to a lot of like Russian satellite countries. He's really into like the Soviet Union and stuff. But he goes to like these towns. He's been to Ukraine, and he goes into these towns, these little villages, and talks to these people. And it's always like these old babushkas. It's funny. They're always like hitting on him and stuff.
That's hilarious.
That and Harold Balder, another bald guy, Harold Balder. He's another
I think I've
good travel.
heard
blogger.
of that one.
Yeah, he's friends with him, and they go to these Russian countries. It's pretty interesting to watch that stuff. Those countries are depressing as shit because they're so poor and they're just decaying. And it's like when I look at these countries, I'm afraid I'm looking at like the future of America.
Good afternoon.
Oh,
it's
Russian military
pretty crazy
has begun a
because
brutal assault on the people of
on
Ukraine.
you.
Without provocation,
on,
without
Biden's
justification,
Oh, there we go.
without necessity. This is a premeditated attack. Vladimir Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along. He moved more than 175,000 troops, military equipment, and positions along the Ukrainian border. He moved blood supplies into position and built a field hospital, which tells you all you need to know about his intentions all along. He rejected every good faith effort the United States and our allies and partners made to address our mutual security concerns through dialogue to avoid needless conflict and avert human suffering. For weeks, we have been warning that this would happen. And now it's unfolding largely as we predicted. In the past week, we've seen shelling increase in the Donbass, a region in eastern Ukraine controlled by Russian-backed separatists. The Russian government.
I hate how he speaks. His
has
words kind of all
perpetrated
slurred together.
Cyber attacks against Ukraine. We saw a staged political theater in Moscow, outlandish and baseless claims that Ukraine was about to invade and launch a war against Russia, that Ukraine was prepared to use chemical weapons, that Ukraine committed a genocide. Without any evidence, we saw a flagrant violation of international law in attempting to unilaterally create two new so-called republics on sovereign Ukrainian territory. And at the very moment that the United Nations Security Council was meeting to stand up for Ukraine's sovereignty, to stave off invasion, Putin declared his war. Within moments, missile strikes began to fall on historic cities across Ukraine. Then came the air raids, followed by tanks and troops rolling in. We've been transparent with the world. We've shared declassified evidence about Russia's plans and cyber attacks and false pretexts so that there could be no confusion or cover-up about what Putin was doing. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. Today, I'm authorizing additional strong sanctions and new limitations on what can be exported to Russia. This is going to impose severe cost on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time. We have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. I want to be clear, the United States is not doing this alone. For months, we've been building a coalition of partners representing well more than half the global economy. 27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and many others, to amplify the joint impact of our response. I just spoke with the G7 leaders this morning, and we're in full and total agreement. We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen to be part of the global economy. We'll limit their ability to do that. We're going to stunt the ability to finance and grow the Russian military. We're going to impose major, and we're going to impair their ability to compete in high-tech 21st century economy. We've already seen the impact of our actions on Russia's currency and the ruble, which early today hit its weakest level ever in history. The Russia stock market plunged today. The Russian government borrowing rate spiked by over 15%. In today's actions, we've now sanctioned Russian banks that together hold around $1 trillion in assets. We've cut off Russia's largest bank, a bank that holds more than 1/3 of Russia's banking assets by itself, cut it off from the U.S. financial system. And today, we're also blocking 4 more major banks. That means every asset they have in America will be frozen. This includes VTB, the second largest bank in Russia, which has $250 billion in assets. As promised, we're also adding the names to the list of Russian elites and their family members that we're sanctioning as well. As I said on Tuesday, these are people who personally gain from the Kremlin's policies, and they should share in the pain. We will keep up this drumbeat of those designations against corrupt billionaires in the days ahead. On Tuesday, we stopped the Russian government from raising money from U.S. or European investors. Now we're going to apply the same restrictions to Russia's largest state-owned enterprises, companies with assets that exceed $1.4 trillion. Some of the most powerful impacts of our actions will come over time as we squeeze Russia's access to finances and technology for strategic sectors of its economy and degrade its industrial capacity for years to come. Between our actions and those of our allies and partners, we estimate that we'll cut off more than half of Russia's high-tech imports. It will strike a blow to their ability to continue to modernize their military. It will degrade their aerospace industry, including their space program. It will hurt their ability to build ships, reducing their ability to compete economically. And it will be a major hit to Putin's long-term strategic ambitions. And we're preparing to do more. In addition to the economic penalties we're imposing, we're also taking steps to defend our NATO allies, particularly in the East. Tomorrow, NATO will convene a summit. We'll be there to bring together the leaders of 30 allied nations and close partners to affirm our solidarity and to map out the next steps we will take to further strengthen all aspects of our NATO alliance. Although we provided over $650 million in defensive assistance to Ukraine just this last year, let me say it again. Our forces are not and will not be engaged in the conflict with Russia in Ukraine. Our forces are not going to Europe to fight in Ukraine, but to defend our NATO allies and reassure those allies in the East.
Well, if we're saying that, then this is all
As I
useless.
made crystal clear, the United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. And the good news is, NATO is more united and more determined than ever. There is no doubt that the United States and every NATO ally will meet our Article 5 commitments, which says an attack on one is an attack on all. Over the past few weeks, I ordered thousands of additional forces to Germany and Poland as part of our commitment to NATO. On Tuesday, in response to Russia's aggressive action, including its troop presence in Belarus and the Black Sea, I've authorized the deployment of ground and air forces already stationed in Europe to NATO's eastern flank allies, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and Romania. Our allies have also been stepping up, adding the other allies, the rest of NATO, adding their own forces and capabilities to ensure collective defense. And today, within hours of Russia's unleashing its assault, NATO came together and authorized an activation of response plans. This will enable NATO's high readiness forces to deploy and when and where they are needed to protect our NATO allies on the eastern boundaries of Europe. And now I'm authorizing additional U.S. force capabilities to deploy to Germany as part of NATO's response, including some of the U.S.-based forces that the Department of Defense placed on standby weeks ago. I've also spoken with Defense Secretary Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, about preparations for additional moves should they become necessary to protect our NATO allies and support the greatest military alliance in the history of the world, NATO. As we respond, my administration is using the tools, every tool at its disposal to protect American families and businesses from rising prices at the gas pump. You know, we're taking active steps to bring down the cost, and American oil and gas companies should not exploit this moment to hike their prices to raise profits. You know, in our sanctions package, we specifically designed to allow energy payments to continue. We are closely monitoring energy supplies for any disruption. We've been coordinating with major oil producing and consuming countries toward our common interest to secure global energy supplies. We are actively working with countries around the world to elevate collective release from the strategic petroleum reserves of major energy consuming countries. And the United States will release additional barrels of oil as conditions warrant. I know this is hard and that Americans are already hurting. I will do everything in my power to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. This is critical to me. But this aggression cannot go unanswered. If it did, the consequences for America would be much worse. America stands up to bullies. We stand up for freedom. This is who we are. Let me also repeat the warning I made last week. If Russia pursues cyber attacks against our companies, our critical infrastructure, we are prepared to respond. For months, we've been working closely with the private sector to harden our cyber defenses, sharpen our ability to respond to Russian cyber attacks as well. I spoke last night to President Zelensky of Ukraine, and I assured him that the United States, together with our allies and partners in Europe, will support the Ukrainian people as they defend their country. We'll provide humanitarian relief to ease their suffering. And in the early days of this conflict, Russia propaganda outlets will keep trying to hide the truth and claim success for its military operation against a made-up threat. But history has shown, time and again, how swift gains in territory eventually give way to grinding occupations, acts of mass civil disobedience, and strategic dead ends. The next few weeks and months will be hard on the people of Ukraine. Putin has unleashed a great pain on them, but the Ukrainian people have known 30 years of independence. They have repeatedly shown that they will not tolerate anyone who tries to take their country backwards. This is a dangerous moment for all of Europe, for the freedom around the world. Putin has committed an assault on the very principles that uphold the global peace. But now, the entire world sees clearly what Putin and his Kremlin allies are really all about. This was never about a genuine security concerns on their part. It was always about naked aggression, about Putin's desire for empire by any means necessary, by bullying Russia to take what they want by force. But it is a vision that the United States and freedom-loving nations everywhere will oppose with every tool of our considerable power. The United States and our allies and partners will emerge from this stronger, more united, more determined, and more purposeful. And Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that. Putin will be a pariah on the international stage. Any nation that countenances Russia's naked aggression against Ukraine will be stained by association. When the history of this era is written, Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Liberty, democracy, human dignity, these are the forces far more powerful than fear and oppression. They cannot be extinguished by tyrants like Putin and his armies. They cannot be erased by from people's hearts and hopes by any amount of violence and intimidation. They endure. In the contest between democracy and autocracy, between sovereignty and subjugation, make no mistake, freedom will prevail. God bless the people of a free and democratic Ukraine, and may God protect our troops.
Mr. President.
Will he ask
Associated
questions?
Press, Zeke,
Oh God, he's.
Speak with President Putin at this point, and what interactions have you had with the Russian government?
I heard the first part. Do I have any plans to speak with Putin at this point, and what?
What communications have you had with the Kremlin as far as military operations in Ukraine and making sure this does not spiral into a larger conflict?
Well, it's a large conflict already. The way we're going to
what
ensure
a
it's not
stupid
going to
question.
aspire to a larger conflict is by providing all the forces needed in the Eastern European nations that are members of NATO. NATO is more united than it's ever been, and I have no plans to talk with Putin. Wall Street Journal.
He's got his list. Yeah, approved journalists.
Mr. President, you didn't mention SWIFT in your sanctions that you announced. Is there a reason why the U.S. Isn't doing that? Is there a disagreement among allies regarding SWIFT and whether Russia should be allowed to be a part of it?
The sanctions that we've proposed on all their banks have of equal consequence, maybe more consequence than SWIFT, number one.
Guys, if
number two,
Russia was worried about that, they wouldn't have invaded.
But right now, that's not the
Somehow
position that
they
the
can
rest
deal
of
with this. They have a plan to deal with it.
Cecilia
Like, why is
Vega,
nobody
ABC.
asking that? Like, what's the
Sir,
proof this is
sanctions
going to do
clearly
anything?
have not been enough to deter Vladimir
Yes.
Putin to this point. What is going to stop him? How and when does this end? And do you see him trying to
Throw
go
the
beyond
shoe.
Ukraine? And a second question I'll just give to you now. This statement that he gave last night, the threat that he gave, the West will face consequences greater than any you have faced in history. Is he threatening a nuclear strike?
I have no idea what he's threatening. I know what
I
he
have
has
no
done,
idea.
Number one. And number two,
That's reassuring.
no one expected the sanctions to prevent anything from happening.
Oh.
It has to show. This is going to take time.
Oh.
And we have to show resolve. So
Oh.
he knows what's coming. And so the people of Russia know what he's brought on them. Oh, God. That's what this is all about.
So discouraging.
This is going to take time. It's not going to occur. He's going to say, oh my God, these sanctions are coming on and going to stand down. He's going to test the resolve of the West to see if we stay together. And we will. We will.
Joe
and we'll
Biden
face
mocks his own
significant costs.
plan.
Will he go beyond Ukraine, sir? Do you see him going beyond?
Yes.
Two topics, just really quick. First, markets are down and gas prices are up. I know you always stress the difference between Wall Street and Main Street, but everybody seems to be in for some economic pain. How economically painful is it going to get for people in this country? And I do have one more question.
First of all, there's no doubt that when a major nuclear power attacks and invades another country, that the world is going to respond, and markets can respond all over the world. So there's no doubt about that, number one. Number
Okay.
two, the notion that this is going to last for a long time is highly unlikely as long as we continue to stay resolved in imposing the sanctions we're going to impose on Russia, period. What's the next question? I'm sorry.
The next question is, did you underestimate
answer it?
Putin? And would you still describe him the way that you did in the summer as a worthy adversary?
At the time, I made it clear as an adversary, and I said he was worthy. I didn't underestimate him. And I've read most of everything he's written. Did you read I shouldn't, I'm not being a wise guy. You heard the speech he made, almost an hour's worth of speech, and why he was going into Ukraine.
Don't be a
He
wise
has
guy,
much larger
malarkey
ambitions in
maker
Ukraine.
here.
He wants to, in fact, reestablish the former Soviet Union. That's what this is about. And I think that his ambitions are completely contrary to the place where the rest of the world has arrived.
You're confident that these devastating sanctions are going to be as devastating as Russian missiles and bullets and tanks?
Yes, Russian bullets, missiles, and tanks in Ukraine.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
No. Based on what?
If sanctions cannot stop President Putin, what penalty can?
I didn't say sanctions couldn't stop him.
You've been
Yeah, you
talking about the
did.
threat of these sanctions for several weeks now.
Yes, but the threat of the sanctions and imposing the sanctions
Oh
and
my
seeing the
God.
effect of the
This
sanctions
is
are two different
unraveling.
things. They're two different things. And we're now he's going to begin to see the effect of the sanctions.
Oh.
And what will that do? How will that change his mindset here, given he's
Because it
attacking
will so
Ukraine as we
weaken his
speak?
country that he'll have to make a.
Oh, I bet he never thought of that, guys.
Whether to continue.
Putin had no idea that this is a possibility.
Or in fact respond.
You said in recent weeks that big nations cannot bluff when it comes to something like this. You recently said that the idea of personally sanctioning President Putin was on the table. Is that a step that you're prepared to take? And if
It's not a bluff, it's on the table.
sanctioning President Putin?
Yes.
Why not sanction him today, sir? Mr. President? Why not sanction him today, sir?
Yes, answer that.
Mr. President, if I can, you detailed some severe and swift new sanctions today and said the impact it will have over time.
Oh, here's a
But
propagandist.
given the full-scale invasion, given that you're not pursuing disconnecting Russia from what's called SWIFT, the international banking system, or other sanctions at your disposal, respectfully, sir, what more are you waiting for?
Specifically, with the sanctions we've imposed exceed SWIFT. The sanctions we imposed exceed anything that's ever been done. The sanctions we imposed have generated 2/3 of the world joining us.
This is bad, guys. This is
they
not
are
good.
profound sanctions.
This is not good.
Let's have a conversation.
Things are going to get
another month
bad,
or so to
guys.
see if they're
I
working.
do not have good
Yes.
feelings.
Can I ask you about Zelensky? Sir, you spoke to Vladimir Zelensky yesterday, sir.
What's the risk that we are watching the beginning of another Cold War, and is there now a complete rupture in U.S. and Russian
It's a
relations?
hot war.
There is a complete rupture right now in U.S.-Russian relations if they continue on this path that they're on. And in terms of a Cold War, that depends. You have the vast majority of the rest of the world in total opposition to what he's doing, from Asia to South America to Europe to around the world. And so it's going to be a cold day for Russia. The idea, you don't see a whole lot of people coming to his defense.
And are you? If
He
I
would
could
not have
follow
done
up,
this,
sir,
folks.
Are you urging China to help isolate Russia? Are you urging China to help isolate Russia?
I'm not prepared to comment on that.
They're allies. Oh, God. This is painful.
Wait, no. Yeah. No. He's had his hand up a long time.
Thank you, Mr. President. How concerned are you that Putin wants to go beyond Ukraine into other countries, and the U.S. will have to get involved if he moves into NATO countries?
Well, if he did move into NATO countries, he will be involved. We will be involved. The only thing that I'm convinced of is if we don't stop now, he'll be emboldened. If we don't move against him now with these
and you're not going to stop him.
Significant sanctions, he will be emboldened.
The sanctions are not going to stop him.
You know, well, anyway.
This is so dumb.
Anything more
He's like
about your
discrediting
conversation?
himself.
Can you, Mr. President?
What is he smiling at?
Why not sanction Putin directly today? Defense partner for the sir.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sir, India, which is a major defense partner of the United States, is India fully with you on the issue of Ukraine and Russia?
With India today, we haven't.
He's hugging his book,
resolved that completely.
his binder.
Okay, thank you all.
He's
very
like,
much.
I'm out.
Thank you.
Yoink. All right. So yeah, whatever that was. Wow. So he basically mocked his own plan. He said that we're imposing these sanctions, which have proven not to deter him. All right, Putin's still going. He's still doing it. Ask yourselves. I mean, if Putin was really worried about these sanctions or any of these measures, would he be invading Ukraine right now? No. He's obviously got a plan. He's obviously got a way to counteract this, at least to the point where he believes he'll outlast us. And I have to believe he's right. I mean, think about it. As soon as this fades from the news cycle, things are just going to go back to normal. We'll be buying our natural gas and our oil or whatever from Russia again. The sanctions will basically cease being, because Europe is going to have to purchase from Russia at some point soon. Our gas prices are going to get so high, the Democrats are going to be worried about the political backlash, and they're going to lift this. They're not going to be able to keep these sanctions. Putin knows it. I'm not promoting Putin here or saying Putin's savvy or anything like that. I'm just stating what should be clearly obvious to everyone. I mean, how many of those reporters? I was surprised how many were knocking Biden on that. And then Biden's response was that, one, he doesn't know. I forget, what did he say that in response to? Like, he had no idea. Like, I can't remember what he said now. He said something about he doesn't know if or how long the sanctions will take, or, you know, and then he even mocked it, like, oh yeah, I know, it's not stopping them. I just, my mind cannot fully grasp what I just witnessed. It's very discouraging. My ice cream cone just melted. As soon as American people are going to be worrying about putting food on the table, they're not going to be worrying about Ukrainian kids. Yes, exactly. As soon as the news cycle ends on this, and as soon as the pain at the pump and you know, at the grocery impact too much, it's going to be gone. And our enemies will be further emboldened. Russia will continue taking, like, what does Putin have to worry about? He knows we're not going to. Biden just took it off the table, military action. So Putin literally has nothing to worry about now. Nothing. Because he obviously has a means of dealing with the sanctions. He has a means of getting around it, or else they would not have done this. He wouldn't have done it. Gee, I don't know, folks. Yeah, we can't even secure our own borders. What are we going to do? Very true. All right, folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now. My kids are probably up there. My youngest is probably up there screaming. I have the door closed, so I can't really hear. But I thank you all for watching. Sorry it took so long to get into that. I do invite you to come into my Discord and continue the discussion. There are people in there right now having heated debates, so I invite you over. And I do appreciate all the super chats I got. Somebody mentioned the new Battlefield games graphics. I stopped being interested in Battlefield after, like, Battlefield 4, I think. And even then, I was really waning. But again, thanks everybody for watching. Keep checking back. I might have a video on top of this today, probably a short or two. Otherwise, just regular videos will commence tomorrow. And I might even stream this evening. So look out for that. I don't know. It just depends on how things unfold tonight. So check back for that. And as always, hit that like button and leave me a comment to let us all know what you think. See you all later.